Documents?
Reading of documents.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Statement and communication by ministers? The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Foxhill.
Yeah. Sorry? Yeah, please, if you can. It'll only be, I apologize for this, Madam Speaker, but given the exigencies of the moment, I have to do this orally again. I just want to report that since I spoke to the House on Monday, the government of the Bahamas made some decisions with regard to airlifting the Bahamian citizens out of Jamaica. There was a request from students who were in Jamaica, about 30 of them, that they wish to be returned to Nassau in the face of Hurricane Beryl. And the decision was taken yesterday morning that that would be the most appropriate and safe thing to do. So with the assistance of Bahamas Air and our Consul General, Alveda Knight, in Jamaica, and the cooperation of the Jamaican government, we were able to mobilize the resources of the Bahamas government to airlift some 35 people out of Kingston yesterday. This included 2 citizens of our neighbor countries, one from Anguilla and the other from the Turks and Caicos Islands, whose governments had asked us to assist them with the airlifting. So at around, I guess that was about 8:30 or so last night, the plane arrived here with everybody safe and sound. And the students were certainly gratified, and their parents, at the effort taken to do this. So I want to take this opportunity to publicly thank Bahamas Air and all the public officials who were responsible. Tanya Pratt is the chair of Bahamas Air, and they all did a magnificent job, the managing director, in mobilizing resources to get that done. To just do a review of what has transpired since the hurricane went through the Southern Caribbean. So Barbados has had damage largely to their marine sector. The Prime Minister reported yesterday when there was a heads of government meeting, an emergency heads of government meeting by Zoom yesterday, and she reported essentially that their fishing sector has been totally destroyed as a result of the storm. But there's been no report of loss of life, which thankfully is the case. Similarly, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, there was significant property damage. I think there was 1 report of loss of life, but they're still reconnoitering at the moment to determine the extent of the damages in their adjoining islands. Grenada got a direct hit. Its smaller islands, Petite Martinique and Carriacou, were directly hit, and their housing stock is almost 100% destroyed. So they have significant issues which they have to face. Our Director General, Jerusha Ali, and 2 members of the Foreign Service staff were actually in Grenada because they had gone there in advance of the heads of government meeting, which is supposed to have taken place over these few days and which has now been canceled. They were airlifted out of Grenada after the storm yesterday and landed here about 12:15 this morning, and so they are safe and sound. By the time they had left, Grenada itself had restored water and electricity, so that's a plus. And the Prime Minister had asked, since the plane was going down to pick them up, carried bundles of tarp at the request of the Prime Minister of Grenada, because obviously it's a roofing problem. And another plane will arrive this morning with additional supplies for Grenada. And within the course of the week, there'll be another plane which will go into St. Vincent and the Grenadines to assist with their recovery there. There are, however, citizens of the Bahamas who are still in Jamaica. Some of them are doctors, of course, who have to continue their training, and other citizens, including, of course, our Consul General. So the report this morning at 8 o'clock was that the eye of the storm was going to pass over the southern part of Jamaica, or pretty near to the coast, with significant winds. At the time of the bulletin, the gusts were 145 miles an hour, so that's significant. And we'll just be watching the situation. We've indicated publicly that any emergency which would require additional action on behalf of Bahamians in Jamaica. The Bahamas government is on standby to assist with that. Prime Minister Davis spoke with Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, yesterday, and they've done their best to sort of batten the hatches and await what transpires. So we pray that there's a good result in the circumstances, but we know that there'll be a lot of pressure because of the strength of this storm. So once again, that summarizes where we are with regard to this, and we will wait and see. There's another meeting of heads of government virtually tomorrow afternoon, I think at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, to to see where we are. SEDEMA has mobilized its resources. And of course, we're in touch with our partners, international partners, the United States and the UK, with regard to efforts to help with recovery. This, of course, reinforces why the Prime Minister has indicated that climate change is the #1 foreign policy issue. And we are front and center at trying to mobilize resources on behalf of this country and our region, because essentially a significant percentage of the GDP of all of these countries has been adversely impacted as a result of these storms. This is at the start of the season. They're saying that a storm at this time of the year is unprecedented, that the waters are warmer than they've ever been before, and that these feeds these hurricanes. So it is clear that we are in a significantly difficult period with regard to the climate, and we will need to employ maximum pressure on these developed countries to step up to the plate on issues like loss and damage and mitigation for things which we have not contributed to. So I hope that the message is loud and clear in Washington and in Beijing, and those people who have the resources to try and assist in ameliorating these difficulties in our region. And we pray for those who are going to witness this hurricane over the next 24 hours. It's going to be a difficult period in Jamaica, and we pray for the best. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Further statement and communication by ministers? No?